Okay. Can we just talk about this for a second? We are so good about our gym routines. We eat our greens, we drink all the water in the world. But some days I still feel like a background character in my own movie. You know that feeling?
I feel that in my soul. It's like we are doing all the right things. We are building the glutes, but the confidence isn't confidencing. We are ticking all the boxes that social media tells us to, but it turns out the real main character energy isn't really just coming from the squat rack.
Exactly. And we think that we finally figured out why. We found the actual secret, the stuff that really builds that unshakable magnetic confidence. And spoiler alert, it has almost nothing to do with the gym.
I feel like that deserves a dun dun dun. And that's exactly what we are spilling today, the real tea. Because I know that all our ladies, we love some real tea because main character energy has become this huge buzzword. And honestly, I think it gets completely misunderstood by so many people. So people hear this word and they immediately think about being the loudest person in the room, being
Yeah.
self obsessed, or curating some perfect aesthetic life that is related to the gym.
Yeah, everything for the gram, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it gets confused with narcissism, actually. Oh, that word. That's not it at all. True main character energy isn't about making everyone else feel like an extra in your story. It's
Mm.
about finally, truly, unapologetically stepping into the leading role of your own life. It's about fighting for yourself, taking ownership of your story and finding the beauty in your own unique journey, no one else's.
I feel like if you had a mic right now, you should have just dropped it on the floor and walked away because that, like, preach,
Episode
honestly.
done.
But actually, speaking about that, it's the quiet confidence you have when you know who you are, what
Mm.
you want, and how you respect yourself. When you respect yourself enough to actually go and get it. And we spoke about this in our previous episode where you show up for who you believe you are. And that's how this ties in. It's the vibe you give off when you are so secure that you don't need those constant stream of likes just to feel validated.
Yeah.
And for us, the journey to get there didn't happen on the treadmill. It
Mm.
happened when we started focusing on these other, much less obvious habits.
Yeah. And these are the things that build you from the inside out. So, the confidence you feel isn't just a temporary high from hitting a new PR, it's a deep foundational part of who you are. So, we made a list. These are the unexpected self care habits that are the real secret to unlocking that genuine, sustainable main character energy that we are all seeking.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, if you didn't guess it, the first thing that we are going to talk about is skincare. Because besides fitness and everybody being obsessed with the gym, everybody is obsessed with skincare. And this might sound like something that is very superficial at first. I know that there's a lot of us who grew up using soap and cream, and that was it. And we carried that on into our mid 20s until we realized actually I am getting older. I need proper stuff. And this is where you start to commit to a skincare routine. And we are not talking about having to buy the most expensive things and doing a 15-step system that you see online because this rich influence blogger did a 15-step. Like, good for her, but this is not all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. not at all. And this isn't about getting flawless, poreless skin. It's about the ritual in itself. It's about the act of dedicating 5 minutes in the morning and in the evening just to yourself. In a world that is constantly demanding of your time, your energy, carving out that little space is a huge act of self-prioritization. It's you telling yourself, I am worthy of this time, I am worthy of this care. And if you have kids, close that bathroom door and lock that door and use that 5 minutes. I have to do that now because Miss Ella is tall enough now to open the doors and stuff. So you can't just close the door anymore and assume that you can have a couple of
Oh
minutes
my
to yourself.
God.
No, you have to lock the door now.
My heart just dropped because for those of you watching and listening, in December will be 1 year since I've seen Ella. And the fact that
Yeah.
she can reach to open the door, like just my heart, I can't, my baby. But if you actually think about it, when you are gently washing your face, you are not just taking off that makeup, you are washing away the stress of the day. And when you are putting on your serum or your moisturizer, you are physically touching your own face with care and intention. And it's basically a meditation if we think about it, because it forces you to be extremely present in that moment, to look at yourself in the mirror without judgment, but with so much kindness. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I remember this one time I was feeling so down. I mean, which one time? There's a million times. And just completely in a funk, and my skin was breaking out. I felt gross. And the last thing I wanted to do was look at my own reflection. I actually spoke to a mutual friend about this because, side note, she was asking me about K beauty and stuff. Another side note on it, I believe and use K beauty. So
Which,
another friend of ours was asking me about it, and then I was trying to show her how much my skin improved in the last year. And then I went back to like before I started and I was looking for pictures, and I realized I had no pictures because I was in such a state with my skin that I just did not want to take pictures. So yeah, that's a whole other side thing. But regardless of that, I made myself do it. I just started with the simplest routine: cleanse and moisturize, and slowly, night after night, day after day, that small act of care started to shift something in my brain. It was a tiny, consistent promise that I was keeping to myself.
Yeah, and it's that consistency that actually helps you build self trust. And when you build trust with other people, you show up for them, right? So, how can you trust yourself if you don't even show up for yourself in the most
Yeah,
basic ways and needs
yeah,
possible? So, if you are starting with a simple skincare routine, it's like the first stepping stone, really. And it's an easy win because it proves to your brain that you can actually take care of yourself, which is the absolute bedrock for confidence. And it's not just about the glow on the skin, it's about feeling that self respect, and that grows inside you, because the fact that you didn't take any pictures, like, it's so much deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah,
not just,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's literally the message that it sends that my well being matters, even on the days when I absolutely do not feel like it. And even for just 5 minutes,
Mhm.
that's a main character move.
Yes.
Okay, next we want to touch on how we see nutrition and food, basically. And again, just like the gym, this is a place where we almost always get our wires crossed. We've been
Hmm.
taught to see nutrition through the lens of restriction, calories, macros, and getting to a certain body type. But main character energy totally flips the script on that.
Yeah, totally. And this is about reframing food as an act of deep self care and respect. for your body. It's not about eating clean to punish or even to shrink yourself. It's about nourishing yourself because you believe that your body is worth good fuel. It's asking yourself, what does my body need in order to feel energized, in order to feel vibrant, in order to feel my best self, instead of saying, what's the lowest calorie thing that I could get away with?
Yeah.
I always use this analogy comparing the body to a car. If you're going to have an expensive car, you are not going to put the wrong fuel or cheap fuel in it. You're going to make sure that the fuel you're putting in your car is the right fuel because you don't want to mess with this engine. So why
Yeah.
would we want to put this in our body? It's an
Yeah.
expensive car.
Yeah, and this is huge for a lot of people. Like a lot of us, we struggle with our relationship with food.
Mm.
It's mostly about control, but the real confidence isn't about controlling your body, it's about being in partnership with it. You need to start thinking about it differently. Cooking a colorful meal with fresh vegetables shouldn't be a chore anymore. It should be an act of creativity and a gift to your body. It should be because you do so much for me, let me give you what you need to thrive. Because you carry me throughout the day, let me give you the fuel that you need in order to go all the way. That's how you should see it. Like, how is this food going to nourish my body and my soul?
Mm, yeah. And that includes, most of the time, it includes joy. Main characters actually enjoy their lives. They savor a delicious meal and they eat the piece of cake at their birthday without this extreme guilt. And it's about taking the morality out of food, and there is no good food and there's no bad food. There is just food, and some of it is
Yeah.
more nutrient dense and some of it is more soul dense. And the
Hmm.
reality is that we need both.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. More nutrient and more soul. You know, you'd always go more nutrient and less nutrient, but more soul. I love
Yeah.
that. So, and that is everything. Having main character energy means you're not a prisoner to a diet plan.
Mhm.
You're completely and utterly in tune with your body. You eat the salad because you crave the freshness and energy it gives you. And then you also eat the brownie because you want to experience life and joy of the warm, gooey brownie. No guilt, only intention.
Yeah, and it's all about actually being mindful. So, taking the time to actually sit down without your phone and taste your food,
Yeah,
appreciate where it comes from. That simple act can elevate a boring moment like lunch into an experience of just gratitude. And it's a way of romanticizing your life as well. You
yeah,
are not just surviving, you are nourishing, you are savoring, you are living. And that
yeah.
shift from a mindset of restriction to one of nourishment is one of the most powerful things that you can ever do for your confidence. And this actually just brings us into the power of solo dates, because I feel like the first solo date that anybody ever does, besides going on a walk, because I feel like the first thing that you do is solo, like, let me go for a walk.
Yeah,
The second and biggest thing is taking yourself on a date. So this might feel extremely scary for some people, even for me. But after I've done this so many times, because I'm a single girl, I don't have a choice. I have to. Otherwise, I'm going to sit on my couch and rot, and I'm not about to do that. So I
yeah.
need to go on solo dates. And taking myself on dates, I swear by them, honestly.
I'm not a big solo dating person. I do them occasionally when I try to scare my nervous system. But I was thinking about this the other day. Andy and I would never have met if he wasn't the type of person to do solo dates, because he came to Cape Town with friends of his, but not really friends. was more like acquaintances at the time. And then he realized that, oh, he didn't really want to spend the entire holiday with these friends. He wanted to get to know other people.
Mm.
So yeah, I was like, we actually wouldn't have met if he wasn't the type of person to just randomly decide he's going to Cape Town, you know?
And that is exactly why it is so powerful. Like, you have to face this feeling head on and realize a fundamental truth that literally nobody cares. People
Hmm.
are so wrapped up in their own lives, their own conversations, their own main character moments, and pushing through that initial awkwardness and proving to yourself that you can enjoy your own company is a massive confidence level up.
Yeah, definitely. It really is. I remember my first solo date was just a coffee shop with a book. And I was so nervous at first, but after a few minutes, I just relaxed and thought to myself, what the hell? You're like, you just
Yeah.
you're just doing people stuff on your own, you know?
Mm.
I got to order exactly what I wanted without debating it. I got to read my book without being interrupted. And it was so peaceful. I was so at peace. And
Yeah.
it taught me that I don't really need someone else to complete an experience, that
Yeah.
I am enough to complete the experience. Take
I-
yourself on solo shopping dates. That's
Yes. And that's basically the core of it. It's about building that independence, because so often we wait for a partner or a friend to do the things that we really want to do. And you go, oh, I'd love to go to this art exhibition, or I really want to go to this new restaurant. Why would you wait, for this partner or for this friend? Taking yourself proves that your desires are valid and that you are worth acting on right now, not when you meet that person or when you meet that friend. You don't need a plus one to have a fulfilling life. And on speaking as somebody who has been alone. It actually hit me the other day that in February I will be single for 3 years. I was like, that is a long time of me doing solo dates, because I remember the first time I was really wanting this food at this restaurant, and I was like, I'm gonna go. Like, there's nobody else to go with me, so I'm gonna go. And I remember walking there, and this lady looked at me and she was like, table for two? Because normally one person will get the
yeah,
table while the others are still coming. And I was like, no, it's just me. My heart dropped in that moment, and I immediately felt like everybody was staring at me in this
yeah,
restaurant, like, oh my word, she's alone. Oh my word, she's alone. And I think that first experience, it was terrible. I'm not going to say that
yeah,
something amazing happened, because it didn't. But only after the second, third, fourth time of me doing this did I feel, now I walk into a restaurant and I'm like, I don't care. I just like tell her whatever. This is what I want. Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because
But
I'm not going to wait for that person or friend or whatever. So,
yeah,
yeah.
you're so brave in that, Donaé. And it also gives you space to actually get to know yourself again. You know, when you're always with other people, your opinions can sometimes get blended with theirs.
Yeah.
Like when you're alone, you have an uninterrupted access to your own brain. You start to notice what you genuinely like or dislike, or how you can reconnect with yourself. I actually saw this thing on TikTok. It's like the trend is bested so hard, basically.
Mm.
And then it was like a montage of a whole lot of best friends, and they were finishing each other's sentences. And that's exactly what happens when you spend too much time with someone
Mm.
else. Obviously, that's not a bad thing. It was
Yeah.
actually quite funny and sweet to see. But the point is to also bestie so hard with yourself.
Yes, 100%. And I took myself to a little garden a few weeks ago. I've actually always wanted to go, and it was because we have this mangroves here, which is really cool. And the mangroves are in water, obviously, but they built this walkway. It's about 2 to 3 kilometers, and you basically just walking on water. In the water on this thing, and there was nobody else to entertain me. I spent so much time in this mangroves just looking around, thinking about things, like whatever. And sometimes it was even mindless, like I didn't even think about anything. I was just enjoying this moment and enjoying my own company, really. And I realized that I was the person that I was spending time with. And I
Yeah.
wanted to show up for myself in this way. How can I entertain myself with what I am thinking or what I am doing, even? Because when we spend time with other people, we always think about how can you make it a great time for them, you know?
Yes.
So, how can you make this a great time for you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Okay. We are absolutely loving this conversation and we're so curious. We've talked about skincare, nutrition, and solo dates, and now we want to know what your unexpected confidence building habits are. So write
Yes.
it down in the comments.
Please do leave them in the comments below. And what's the one thing that isn't just typical gym advice? Something that makes you feel like you are the main character in your own life. And we are genuinely going to be reading them all. So please do leave your comments down below.
So, this next one is a deep one, and it's not as glamorous or as easy to post about, but it is without a doubt the most important, and that is doing the work on the inside. We're talking about your mental health.
Yeah, and this is the absolute core to everything, because you can have the perfect skin, you can have the perfect diet, and you can have the confidence to go on all these solo dates. But if you are not dealing with what is going on in your head and in your heart, you are building a beautiful house on shaky foundation. And real lasting confidence comes from self awareness and learning how to manage your emotions.
Yeah, for sure. And this can look like journaling, it can look like sending voice notes to yourself, because that's what I do. It
Same.
can. And it doesn't have to be, Dear Diary, today was nice. I mean, really using it as a tool to untangle your thoughts. I started super simple. Once a day, I'd write down 3 things I was grateful for. Donaé actually bought me the best journal ever. I do use it. And I don't use it as often as I should
It's long.
because I send voice notes to myself a lot of times. Like, oh my word, this is annoying. Da 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 da. So there are so many ways that you can journal. You don't have to journal by actually writing down all the time, because I know not everybody enjoys the motion or the feeling or the task of writing. And then
Yeah.
every day you just do a brain dump. All of the anxieties and the fears that you had during the day swirling in your head, just getting them out of your head or onto a paper or into a voice note, it creates so much space inside. It shows
Yeah.
you that you are not your thoughts, that you are just an observer of your thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. And journaling is so, so powerful because the beauty about it is that it is private. Sometimes, a lot of the time, actually, you feel like you need to vent. So you call a friend and then you talk about this thing, and then that just ends up becoming like a toxic conversation, actually, most of the time,
Yes.
because then it will turn into a gossip or whatever, if there's somebody else involved in this thing that was bothering you, or if it is your own thing and you actually feel like, I don't want to speak about this to anybody else, then journal about it or do the voice note thing, because it is so private. It's only for you, and it is a judgment free zone where you can be
Yeah.
so honest and you can remove the filters and the masks if you are wearing them and just be real and raw. You can celebrate your wins as loud as you want to without people
Yeah.
saying, oh, she thinks that she's cool. Oh, she thinks that she's all that. You can say in your thing, I am so proud of myself. Look at how far I
Hmm.
have come. Look at what
Yeah.
I have achieved. without being scared. And the beauty about it is that you can spot the negative thought patterns. So if you
Yeah,
do a brain dump today and tomorrow again and the day thereafter, and one day you just decide you're going to circle back to just read, you will see maybe there's a pattern that you didn't even know that was a negative pattern. Now you're aware of it, so you can change it. So the next time you
yeah,
journal, you'll be aware of this, and then,
yeah,
rewiring the brain. Again, we covered
yeah.
an episode about that as well.
Yeah, I love that. And sometimes the work inside does actually mean asking for help.
Yeah.
Going to therapy was one of the biggest main character moves that I've ever made. It was a true investment in myself. It was saying, Zoe, you are committed to understanding yourself, you are committed to healing, and you are committed to becoming the best version of you, inside and outside. And I am not afraid to ask for help when I need it. I will
Yeah.
ask for help because there is no shame in asking for help. And if you have friends around you who you feel you cannot ask for help, then you have the wrong friends.
Yeah, 100%. And there is so much strength in that, actually, because a lot of people think that going to therapy is a sign of weakness. And I suppose that
Mm,
this goes back to the way you were raised and what your parents believed and what their parents believed. Because let's just face it, we end up believing what our parents believe because that's what they taught
yeah.
us. But I feel like a lot of the times there's something that happens in your life that almost forces you to have this massive reflection. And
Mm,
I'm going to take my mask off for just a second. I was diagnosed with depression about 4 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, I have to tell my family that I am going to see a therapist, and I have to tell my family that I'm on antidepressants. And this, telling my family this, was actually more scary than me
yeah.
accepting that I am depressed, because my parents' beliefs are not my beliefs. You know what I mean? My mother's going to be like, you're going to therapy? Why are you doing this type of thing? A lot of the time people don't understand. And I think that when you break down those walls, where you realize that you need to do this for you, where you realize that you are in a place where you need help. Because I didn't just end up in a therapist's office, I didn't just
Yeah.
end up taking these tablets. It was a decision that I had to make, to go and see the doctor, to go and see the therapist, to actually take this medication. So this is where you need to show up for yourself, and that's where the power actually is, in where you realize there's nothing wrong with not being okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to not be okay, because now you've identified the problem, so now you can fix it. And that's the work that makes your energy really so authentic, because it's not just a performance.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's lighten things up a little bit and let's bring the energy back up with our next point, which is one of our favorites, and that is learning to romanticize your life.
Mm.
Because if you know Donna and I, we do this on the daily. I literally just tried to get it to do that.
We are always giving you guys the secret sauce. We have so many secret sauce, but this one is really it. Put this on the top of your list, the secret sauce. And just like the main character energy, people sometimes think that this means that you need to be a little bit the delulu.
Hmm.
You need to be performative. But romanticizing your life isn't about pretending that your problems don't exist. It's about intentionally finding and creating moments and beauty in those everyday boring stuff.
Exactly. It's like a form of mindfulness. It's choosing to see your life through a prettier lens. For example, you're not just making your morning coffee, you are your own personal barista.
Mm.
You're using your favorite mug, you're pouring the milk to make a little swirl, even though it's going to be messed up. And you're taking a moment to actually smell the coffee before you drink it.
Mm.
And you've just turned a small, normal coffee making step into a luxurious ritual.
And the reality is that we are the director of our own life movie, guys. We really are. You literally choose the soundtrack, make the playlist for everything, a playlist for cooking, a playlist for walking, for cleaning, for training, for your skincare, whatever it is. And suddenly these chores feel like you are in a movie. Like light the
Yeah,
candle while you eat your supper, even if it was leftovers from last night. Nobody has to know that. This is your
yeah,
meal, your time, your
yeah,
romance.
yeah.
Buy yourself flowers. This is
Hmm.
the most beautiful thing I think that you can do for yourself, is buying yourself flowers, because having fresh flowers to look at every single day just gives you a reason to smile before anybody else had the chance to do it. You made yourself smile because you bought those
Yeah,
flowers. You can
yeah,
appreciate the beauty. Also, wear the outfit. Wear that outfit that makes you feel amazing. People are going to think what they want, people are going to say what they want, but you wear that outfit for you, even if you're working from
yeah,
home. Do things.
yeah. And people are going to talk regardless.
Mm.
People are going to talk whether you do it or whether you don't do it. So you might as well do whatever the F bomb you want and get on with it.
Yes.
Like, I started doing this with something so small as on walks. I used to just put on my headphones and power walk to get it over with, like 30 minutes, I want to walk. And that was the initial thing. Now it's like a little treat, like Dora the Explorer on a mission. I will intentionally walk around my neighborhood, look at the cool houses that I notice along the way. I'll take a different street on the way back just to see something new. And that shifts your perspective from, oh, a walk or exercise to, ooh, little adventure. Ooh, I'm going to explore my neighborhood. Now you're finding the main character plot in the side character moments.
I love that so much. And that's exactly what it is about. It's about being present and being grateful for the small things that we miss. Because how many times did you drive down the same street and then only you were like, oh my
Yeah,
word, there's a new building? This building didn't just come overnight, they've been building this building. But now you're like, oh my word, where did this come from? Because we don't pay attention. So it's just
yeah,
the time to be present in your day, the feeling of having fresh sheets on your bed. There's nothing better than that. The sound of the rain, which Europe is going into winter now, so you guys would appreciate the sound of rain. I'm so sorry. That
who
first sip of
appreciates it,
water.
Donaé?
Me, I would
No one
because
in this house.
me. I'll take your rain. Please send it to the UAE if you can. And when you are so thirsty and you take that first sip of water, you're like, whew, you literally say, oh, that was so good. Because you realize that life is already full with so
So
magic,
much,
and we
yeah.
just forget about it, and we don't actually give it the credit that it deserves.
Yeah, and romanticizing your life is an act of rebellion against the hustle culture. And that tells us that joy is a reward that you have to earn. And it's a declaration that your life right here, right now, it's worthy of being celebrated. That mindset is everything. It's magnetic, and that is main character energy.
Yes. And while we are wanting to build this main character energy, the main thing I think a lot of us struggle with is setting boundaries. And this is where it gets
Mm,
like there's a plot twist. Once you set boundaries, people are like, whoa, because this one is literally everything. You can do all the journaling and all the solo dates in the world, but people will still walk all over you. And
yeah.
this will never allow you to actually feel like the main character, because the main character respects herself too much to allow anybody to walk over them. So, setting your boundaries is the ultimate expression of self worth. Mm.
And a boundary isn't an attack on someone else, it's a defense of your own peace. It's you saying, this is what I'm okay with, and this is what I'm not okay with. This is how I expect to be treated. And
Mm.
you are defining the reality that you want to live in. It's terrifying at first, especially if you're a people pleaser, but
Mm.
it's going to be so empowering when and you stand on business.
Honestly, I crowned myself as the queen of people pleasers because I would so often say yes to things that I had absolutely zero energy for because I was so scared of disappointing the next person. And if I am being very honest, I am 100% still this way. Okay, maybe not 100%,
Not
but
that bad, not that
yeah,
bad.
I'm gonna go 70%. I am still like this because often I would let friends dump their negativity on me without even considering my own emotional battery. And when I became aware of this, before I vent, I asked, are you in the capacity to receive this? Can
Yeah,
I vent to you? And you can tell me no. I'm totally okay with that. If you're not gonna listen to me, my phone's gonna hear me because I will talk to it, or my journal is gonna hear about it tonight. It's okay. And that first time saying no without that long apologetic excuse was honestly one of the most scariest things that I could have ever done in my life. And I still find it so hard to do to this day. But
yeah,
we have to do it, you know?
yeah. And the world did not end, you
Mm,
know? That's what you realize. The people who truly respect you will respect your boundaries.
mm,
Finish and clear. The
mm,
people who get upset are the ones who were benefiting from you having none. And that's
mm,
a really important filter for your life. Boundaries can be big or small. It can be telling a family member, I love you, but I can't discuss that topic with you. It can be
mm.
telling your boss, I won't be checking emails after 6 p.m. In my case, it's telling my clients that after 5:30 I don't check my phone because once I'm home, I'm here with my daughter, I'm starting dinner, then it's getting my daughter done for school and stuff like that. Set those boundaries, like
Yeah.
no, say listen, I love this thing, but I also love this other thing, and this other thing
Yes.
is me.
Yes, louder. Boundaries can also be with yourself. You will have a boundary where you could say, I will not scroll on my phone first thing in the morning, or I will not speak negatively about my body. You are also protecting your energy from external and internal drains, which is very important as well.
Exactly. And when you set a boundary, you're basically just teaching people how to treat you. But
Mm,
more importantly, you're also teaching yourself that your needs are valid and important
mm,
and that your time is valuable. Your
mm,
emotional well being is a non negotiable, guys. Let me say that again. Your emotional well being is a non negotiable because you have to live in your body every day and have those thoughts and live with those thoughts. So every time you hold a boundary, you build more self respect, you
mm.
build more confidence, and it's the quiet, firm foundational work that lasts when you move through the world feeling safe and in control. That is the ultimate main character power move that you can pull.
Mm, mm, preach. So, like we've been saying, the feeling that all of us are chasing, the real, authentic main character energy, is not something that you can get on a six pack or on a promotion. And those things are great because they are external. The real secret is that it is really an inside job.
Yeah, and it's a whole practice. It's the sum of all of these small, consistent acts of self respect. The ritual of your skincare, the nourishment of your food, the independence of a solo date, the clarity from journaling, the joy from romanticizing the mundane, and the power of a solid boundary.
Mm. It's about shifting the focus from how do I look to other people to how do I feel about myself. It's about becoming the hero in your own story, not for an audience, but for you. So imagine yourself a year from now moving through life with the quiet confidence, feeling grounded and joyful and truly in charge of your own story. That journey starts today with one small act of self care.
And you are already the main character. You just have to start believing it and acting like it.
Mhm. Thank you so much for spilling the tea with us today. If you really like this conversation and you resonated with it, please do like this video, share it with a friend, or rewatch it even if you needed another reminder. And don't forget to hit that notification buttons.
And please consider subscribing so that you don't miss our next one. Check out the comments to see what other people are sharing and keep the conversation going. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.